Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss economic reforms under liberalization. There are five economic reforms under liberalization, that is industrial sector reforms, financial sector reforms, fiscal reform, foreign exchange reforms and trade and investment reforms. Industrial sector reforms and financial sector reforms we have already discussed in our previous session. Now in this we are going to discuss remaining three reforms under liberalization. First, fiscal reforms. Fiscal reforms related to revenue and expenditure of the government. Tax reforms are the principal components of fiscal reforms. Both taxes are classified as direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax are those taxes the burden of which cannot be shifted on to others. Just example, income tax and wealth tax. One who pays such a tax himself bears the burden of it. Indirect tax are those taxes the burden on which can be shifted onto others. Example, GST. Suppose a shopkeeper paying GST can shift the burden of this tax onto the final buyer of the goods by adding the tax amount on the basic price of goods sold. Before liberalization, tax structure in the country has been highly complex. Fearing a heavy burden of taxation, people would often evade taxes. Now, tax structure has been simplified and moderate. This has raised tax revenue of the government. External sector reforms. External sector reforms include foreign exchange reforms and foreign trade policy reforms. Foreign exchange reforms are initiated in 1991 with the devaluation of the Indian rupee against foreign currency. Devaluation implies a fall in the value of rupees, US dollars or British pound, implying that US dollars or British pound can be exchanged for more rupees than before, which implying that a US dollars or British pound can buy more goods in the Indian market, which increases our export due to increase in the export of domestic goods and services. Supply of foreign currency increases in the Indian economy. Followed by the devaluation in 1991, the exchange value of Indian rupee in the international money market was left to the free play of the market forces. Next, that is foreign trade policy. Foreign trade policy underwent a substantial change in the wake of liberalization. Tariff controls have been moderate, rather withdrawn from many items of export and import. Instead of policy of protection to the domestic industries, now there is a policy of survival of the fittest. Market competition has replaced the policy of quota and tariff, which increases the efficiency, and by efficiency we can achieve growth and development. Next, that is privatization. Privatization is the process of involving the private sector in the ownership or operation of the state-owned enterprises. It implies gradual withdrawal of the government ownership management from the public sector enterprises. It may happen in two ways. First, withdrawal of government ownership and management from the mixed enterprises. Second, outright sale of the government enterprises to the private entrepreneurs. Disinvestment is a policy instrument to promote privatization. It occurs when the government sale of its shares, capital of PSU, it means public sector undertakings, to the private investors. It is taken to improve production and managerial efficiency as well as to facilitate modernization. Of course, Disinvestment is also used as a means of manage fiscal deficit by the government. There are few advantages and disadvantages of privatization. Gains. Privatization implies self-interest over social interest. When self-interest will be there, the entrepreneurs work with 100% commitment and efficiency becomes the condition of survival for the workers, which increases the high productivity. Second, privatization expects private enterprises to work in a competitive environment, both domestic as well as international. Competition increases upgradation and modernization. These are the essential conditions of growth and development. Privatization promote diversification of production, which increases choice and better quality of life. Now, there are few losses of privatization. Socialist pattern of the society in which social interest is left to survive only as a theoretical possibility. Privatization encourages the free play of market force, but in the process, goods are produced only for those who have the income to buy them. When prices increases, weaker section of the society suffers. That are the losses of privatization. In next session, we are going to discuss globalization.